In the Speedo surround of the CRX dash, which is what I've got in the Civic, we've got some buttons which are the hazard, the rear demister, my car doesn't have one, and we have got a fog, which will be the rear fog. So in order to get these all working, we've got the first, it's an easy one, the hazard button. That actually has the same connector as the one which is in the MC2 or MB6 Civic VTI, so that's really nice and easy. Just go straight into there. The demister I don't have, but what I do have is a fan working on a switch. So what I'm going to do is find out which two pins are operating on the switch, and I think it's this one on the right of the top row and the right of the bottom row. I think those go for open and closed when you press the switch, but I can confirm that using my multimeter. So I'll just turn that on, put it on continuity, get the probes, and obviously when we have a closed circuit we will hear that beep. So first of all, the switch is open, I get nothing, and I go on these two to the right, and then if I press it, I have continuity. So these two, like I was saying, are the ones I want to go on to, and I'm going to use that for the fan switch. Fog light's a bit tricky because this is the MC2 fog light, and we have, this is for the rear, and you see it doesn't actually latch, it's not meant to latch, but the light comes off and on. The one for the front does latch, and this one is for the EF or CRX, and it does latch. So I've got a bit of a problem that I either make this, I either try and make it not latch. I've got an even bigger problem with that, is that inside is a load of electronics. It's got a whole circuit board attached to it, so I'd have to kind of undo this and make the whole thing work. So it's going to be a slightly bigger project than I really wanted to take on. So I might put that to one side for now. And also, of course, this is only a rear fog light, whereas this has the option of all the wiring for the front fogs as well. And of course, in the car I've got the front fog, so I could connect up if I can find something to fit the car well. So that might be another day, another dollar. So now I found out which two I would like to connect. These two pins on the right here. All I need to do is find out if I've got a connector for this, but instead of doing that I could just go to my spade connector assortment, see if I can find a spade that will just push over that. I think I've got a load in here, so that's what I'm going to do, try and find the correct spade and push it over those two connectors. There's the two spades just over the top. I'll just check this whole thing works. I'll put the two probes in the back and click it, so that's going to work. And then all I need to do is put that to the wiring I've currently got on that toggle switch and connect them to these two spades. So this is the setup I had. I just had this MC2 plug is trimmed down, but as you can see it doesn't look the best, and I've had to cut a load of plastic off to make it fit as a temporary thing. These are both the same, so I can just feed this plug up through here and it's ready to be connected. But in the meantime I just want to take this whole cowl off, because you see someone's made the cut here for this switch, and I've been using that as a fan switch, but now I can just use the rear demist, because I'm not going to use that for anything else, as a fan switch. So I'm going to do that, and it means I can close out this little hole down here. So I'm sure there's a right way and a wrong way of doing this, but I'm just going to basically put this in here like this. Is it this way or this way? Let's try this one first. Looks better anyway, more stock. That's that covered off, and then I'm just going to undo these bits at the back, so you can just clip these out. I'm going with the non-mar tool. See if I can get it. There's one. And here. What about these non-martels? They're strong. They don't mark it all up. That's that one. And that's that one. And then little screwdriver. Hey, no screw. No screw. Okay, no screws. That's alright. So I need to get some for that. But then lastly, I have two screws up here, or should do. There's one here, and there's one the other side. There. There we go. So take those two out, and then I can just take this cowl off. This will just come off. I've got to be a little bit careful because I need to unplug the switch. What I've got to do now is change these ends for this smaller type of end, little spade connector, and pull it so it's through here so it can get connected to my demister. So just nip these both off here, new ends put on. Now I can just feed these wires up into here so they're ready to get connected onto the back of the switch. So we're just about there, right there, something like that. And I'm just going to put the 4 screws in the dash, or in the cowl. But first of all, I'm going to check that this all works. So I'm going to connect this up. So let's give it a go. Works. And then the fans. Cool, all works. Nice, so I can just pop that back in there. And I think for now, unfortunately, I'm going to just pop this back in place as well. I'm just going to have to figure that out in the future. I'm not going to leave it like that forever because I do actually need to run the fogs at some point, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's all in. The new kind of cleaner look with no kind of toggle switch I had before. I think it looks a lot better. I've just still got these fog lights to deal with. I might just put them there for now, because at least that'll be accessible. So I need to think about that a little bit. But either way, I think it looks a little bit neater and a little bit nicer in here. Real quick oil change. Going to put a jack stand underneath there as well. Going to check the quality of the oil coming out after it's seen about 700-800 miles. And let's see what it looks like. There's 2 axle stands underneath there. The problems of having a low car. Yep. And then oil. So I can actually see there's a little bit coming out here anyway. So possibly that needs tightening up, which is interesting. But we'll see what effort it is to take it off, and therefore if it's been undone at all. But I've been checking the oil level regularly, so I don't think it's lost any. It's loosened off, buckets in place. Let's have a look. Just use a little bit of pressure. That surprised me. It's a very good magnet on this. And that's some real fairly dark oil that's in there. And I've got a few little shavings on the magnet, but I mean, I haven't really run a very good magnet in the past, so this could just be some residual crap. But let's go and have a look at the oil and what's on the magnet and light. This is the magnet. You can see there's some filings on there. Kind of means this thing's doing its job, but it's not a lot. Actually, I don't know, maybe it is. Right, the remnants of that is just dribbling out, and I've cleaned up the plug, found a new washer, I'm just going to put this back in. So I don't know what we can really say about this, but I mean, it hasn't got any clearly big metallic particles in it or anything, lumps of things. So yeah, fairly happy with that. It just looks like old oil. So now what I'm going to do is take out the oil filter, and that can be better done probably from below. So here I am, blow the car again. Here is the oil filter, and starting to move, but I'm going to need two hands on it. Sometimes you need the help of the claw. So I've got it in here, and if I just pick this side up and push it, if you like, clockwise, and then it'll start to grip, and then I'll just turn the whole thing anti-clockwise, and you can just spin the oil filter off. Now I'm going to put the new oil filter on. It's a Bosch P2041, probably others fit, and Castro Edge 5W40. A bit of oil around that seal, and then just spin it in. And it just needs to be hand tight. Okay, and I'll just wipe up any oil that's spilt because I've taken the filter out. Now comes for time to put some oil in it, and the car's almost level, so I'll start putting some in and have a look where I am on the dipstick. But bear in mind, you've probably got a Coke can's worth of oil in the filter that's currently dry, so you can overfill it ever so slightly, and the first time you crank the car, the oil level will come down. Oil going in. Try not to spill too much like I've just done. Liquid gold. Try that first. First dip. Always clean the slate. Pop it in the dipstick hole. And look where you are. I'm about there. Now I know if I crank the engine once, I'll probably be low again. So I'll just put a bit more. So now we're at the top. So what I can do now is check, number one, that I don't have any leaks down below, and number two, I can drop the car onto the floor so it's on a level playing field, which I almost am anyway. You see I'm actually probably almost level here anyway. Drop the car down a bit at least, and just do the final check of oil level after you've spun the engine over. First thing to do as well is check that you don't have any oil leaks under here, because if you've got any oil leaks coming from your sump already, you either haven't done this up tight, your ring's leaking, or you've got some other problem with your sump thread. But that looks okay. So what I can do now is take the axle stands out, jack the car up, take the axle stands out, and check the oil level. Right then, let's spin this engine over and check the oil level then. Turn the fans off. Probably enough. Now sure. Check the oil level. We're pretty much where we need to be. So that's it. That's how you do the oil quickly. And now the engine should be pretty happy with having new oil as opposed to this old stuff.